here his inner leadership is being developed. See, we talked about him being planted, right? So then now, oh my God. Can I pause for a second? Because when I was looking at this, I began to see that there's a process. Somebody say process. There's a process to development. And so I began to, because we always talk about the plant, I was like, well, God, let me look at the germination process. So it was really interesting that when the seed gets planted, what it does is absorbs the word. Y'all missed it. I said, it absorbs water. I wanted to say word first so that you know exactly where I was at. So the seed absorbs the water. It gets the water, and then what happens is what's inside of it begins to grow. That's what it's about. And so this is, but you know what's really interesting is that the water, it begins to do something because there's, can I tell them? There's already food inside the seed. There's already food inside the seed. So when that thing, but watch what has to happen. The water has to come and it has to touch and ignite it, and it begins to stir up those, in this case, those enzymes, and then the plant, the seed itself begins to feast off of it, and it allows it to grow. It has to begin that process. But that word had to get to the inner part of that seed. I said word again, didn't I? I wanted you to make sure that I'm speaking to you. Because, see, what happens is that when you don't have the word, you lie dormant like a seed. Wow. But when the word begins to get you absorbed, something begins to grow from the inside. My God. And so then the next step, watch this, in the germination process, is that the root goes down. The root goes down because it's looking for more water. Right? And okay, so this is the next phase. It begins to look for more, and it's trying to get more because now it's starting to get it. It still feeds up the food, but it's going down, and now it's absorbing more water. And then the top part, whatever, begins to sprout up. You know what it's doing? It's looking for the sun. Oh my gosh. It's pushing through. It got something else, but it begins to push through the earth because it's trying to get to the sun. That's the process. Now watch this. So it started off with its own food, but then once it gets out and gets into the light, it begins to grow out the leaves, and it begins to generate its own food from that point on. Joseph is planted. He already had a word that fertilized him. It let him know that there's a dream that I gave you. And it stuck with him, and it began to do something. But then even when he gets into this place where he is in a foreign space, the thing about Joseph's story that is so powerful for me, because at this moment, he again, 1 minute, hey, you're going to be a great leader, right? And so you get excited about that. And the next minute, you've been put into slavery. Right? Again, we talked about it last week. That's enough to make you want to fight. Most of us would. Right? But he goes in. And look at what the Bible's saying. It's saying that I don't know how long it took for him to become the head of Potiphar's stuff, but it wasn't that long where Potiphar recognized there was something in him. Y'all, come on, you guys. A young man who could have been crying about, I want my daddy, being launched out right there, does some work to be able to allow us on the inside of him to stir up and be planted and begin to operate in this gifting that God already gave him. To the point where the man house says, you run it all. Whatever he says goes. The attitude that he had to have speaks volumes. And I cannot go further in your becoming if you don't understand that. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what they said. It doesn't matter what they did, even the ones who love you, right? It doesn't matter what they did. There's something on the inside of me that gotta come out. And that everything that's going on is just a part of the process. And even though it can seem mean, it can seem evil, it can seem like this ain't fair or it ain't right, if you keep your focus on the promise giver, it doesn't matter.